I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jesse.
We're Cannabis School. Having cannabis-infused conversations
With everyday people,
cannabis companies,
celebrities,
and your mom.
welcome to the Sesh. All right. Well, we're back, and we're here to be able to have a fun Sesh episode. But before we get into all that one, we got to tell you a little bit more about Dr. Dabber, because this isn't a promotional thing. What we want to do is we want to give him a lot of love, because we had asked him, we're like, hey, we're huge fans of Dr. Dabber. Brandon's been rocking the Dr. Dabber switch for a long time.
Like 5-6 years.
Yeah, it's a great device.
It.
I mean, that says a lot when a device can last that long.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things, we had talked to him, and we're just like, yeah, we'd love to show everybody about the new stuff at Dr. Dabber and all that. And they not only sent us, like, I asked them for the XS. I was like, yeah send us out this.
We just wanted something for Jesse, because I had a Dr. Dabber switch.
Yeah, and I was like, this would be cool. And they went crazy. Yeah. And they sent us the XS.
The Evo.
The Evo.
And the Switch 2.
Yeah, and so Brandon's now upgraded. But I got to tell you, that is a slick-looking device. And it's... Oh. You turned up the temp?
Just one.
Dude, that's a better temp.
And we're dabbing on some Super Lemon G cured resin batter from Dragonfly.
Clean, dude.
Honestly, I was beyond excited because Jesse and I were on the phone.
Clear that out.
Last night. And as we're on the phone, he's like, oh, dude. Gets all excited. And he's like, I gotta send you a pic. And I'm like, I don't want to see a dick pic. And then...
No, you'll want to see this thing.
And then he sends me a picture of like all three of these. And it's like, holy shit. Because we had just messaged them, like you said, seeing if they would send one out. And it had been a while. And we hadn't heard the thing. And then all of a sudden, bam. Just on his doorstep, the whole slew of goodies there.
So while we're getting into Super Lemon, I'm going to ask you something, dude. Pokemon GO, did you ever play it?
Yeah, for a while.
I did too. I played it a little bit. I remember like going around the neighborhood and catching random it was kind of cool.
So Utah had that massive group that would go to the library sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever do that?
Mm-hmm. You hear about people getting hit by cars or walking off cliffs. People got...
That's insane.
They were just all into that game.
That's terrible.
But the crazy thing is, the people that built it were CIA funded.
You were saying that.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, dude. It's super dope. So,
And they also originated before Google or before Pokemon Go. It was like...
Yeah, so the guy that set it up is John Hankey, and he was running a company called Keyhole. And Keyhole was bought by Google, which is now Google Earth. And so he had created this software, but that software, Keyhole, was backed by the CIA. So the CIA has an investment. They have several investment groups. One's called...
In-Q-Tel.
In-Q-Tel. Yeah, In-Q-Tel.
Firm.
Yeah, they are a CIA. I mean, it's a very well-known venture capital. Now, why would the CIA be investing into it? They invest into a lot of things all the time. New emerging tech on communications, on surveillance, any of those things, they'll fund it to get built if that's what the people are looking for. And you have people that are contractors like that, like the guy who invented the Oculus, Lucky Palmer. That's his name,
contract?
Dude. What's that?
Was that another government contract?
No. I'm just saying, like, Lucky Palmer, who created the Oculus.
That's a funny name.
Dude, he is, I mean, you see him and you're like, yeah, that guy's named Lucky Palmer. Because but he had the Oculus. And when he sold it to Facebook, he had all these visions of where it was going to go.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the direction. And when he had his own opinions about his political views, they came to him and said, you have to take it offline because we don't agree with it. And he's like, fuck you. I'll do whatever I want. And they threatened him. And they finally like pushed him out. So he got fired from Facebook. I mean, he's not sad. I mean, he got billions.
No,
he got so much
more
money.
than enough money.
So what did he do with it? He invested into a military enhancement tech company. He is creating exoskeletons that he's already used, going through the mountains and totally fine. Feeling dead or anything like that. All sorts of new tech that he wants to be able to do to make warfare safer but more effective.
Yeah.
And because he's just like, look, I see the writing on the wall. It's not that I want to get rich doing it, is that I want to win. And I believe in this part. He's like, I had this big vision for Oculus. He's like, I can't touch VR ever again. Even though he has all the idea. Dude, the original creator of Doom was a part of his startup with Oculus.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was super cool. Like, he helped design a lot of the things because of Doom. Doom was like the game that changed the industry. But you can see, like, that's really clear. He's like, yeah, I'm going to build military tech. And then this guy is just like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
why would the CIA put all that money into something that can track Google Earth? Because now I can see things like gridded out. So why does it make sense with Pokemon Go?
Well, because it became way more in depth than Google Earth. It gave access to cameras and GPS stuff
everywhere.
And
Tracking
3D,
movements,
like way more
how
in
you
depth.
walk, speed,
Yep.
habits.
Yep. Even other people you might be in distance from, like, because it would track everything through there. And so then that gave it the ability to, because it first became, so in QTEL, that CIA VC funded Keyhole. Keyhole is what became Google Earth.
Yep.
And then after that, the guy behind both launched Niantic, and Niantic was what became Pokemon Go. And so all of that synergist, like everything just kind of intermeshes there. And it does create, like you said, these very interesting thoughts.
Yeah, well, because you think about it like in a way of like trying to put together like this puzzle. And it's like, well, how Google Earth is great. You can use Google Maps and you can go to Street View, but you're just seeing like from the street.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Go was able to do things beyond that. How many people were trespassing on properties because there was a Pokeball? But there was places where it weren't allowed to do it. Russia outlawed it.
Yeah, different countries. There was, who else did? There was another.
Military installations or anybody who worked for a federal government agency was not allowed to have it.
Yeah, they couldn't play it because it was like, oh, that gives access to too much data.
Yeah, because now you have real-time data. Now you think from a now I'm thinking like, I don't know if you ever played like the old Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So that one, it's like they could get a grid of everything right there in real time, which they already have this technology. They have this technology where you can look through a lens and they can see the battlefield in real time from Predator drones marking good guys from strobe lights or from having some type of identification thing. And then they could see anything else that wasn't that as a threat. And so it's like, that's straight up Future Soldier. But this is even deeper because now I can get real-time data. I need to get into that building with my team.
Yeah.
I need to know every door.
Every angle, every, like, what's in there. And you will literally get all the camera data from all of it. And so it's like, oh, cool. Well, I can see desks. I can see office layouts. I can see
blind
all
spots.
Of the stuff. Any stuff that's not on.
Now you plug that in with AI.
Yep.
Build me a tactical plan to be able to enter the building from this data set.
Oh, yeah.
And now they have a full tactical plan, and it's smart. I could see the implications doing really well for law enforcement and all that other stuff. But the thing is, and the reason why this got me piqued was there's woman was noticing that there are these strange flight patterns because you can actually see in real time flight patterns and stuff like that, like where planes are going. You can go to various websites because it's public knowledge. It's not like you can plan something, but you know where things are. And they have direct airspaces where you can't fly in.
Yeah.
And they noticed that there's this really weird pattern that these airplanes were flying in restricted airspace above.
Airplanes or just something?
They said, well, it could be drones.
Okay.
More than likely Predator-type drones. Because, I mean, you don't want a person to do it because it was doing these types of formation, not a zigzag, and it was using probably, LiDAR imaging, stuff like whatever type of imaging they could do. But then you think about like, what if on the back end you could use it for this and being able to use for troop movements?
Oh, yeah.
Because the Marines and the National Guard are there around. I would be I'm not thinking that it's going to be like a Tiananmen Square where they're gunning down hundreds of people. I don't think of that at all. But I can see it in the practical matter going, cool, they can do that. They could actually set up for safer ways. They could set up blocks and barricades to be able to make sure that they don't keep attacking people and that they could keep it in an isolated area. Because that's all they're doing. They're not going there to arrest people or anything. They're just a show of force saying you can't be burning things you can't be,
Yeah.
throwing things.
See, I've seen videos of also LA that someone else who lives there posted, and it was like peaceful, literally looked like a concert, people passing out water, no burning, no anything
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, and you can hear a lot of the
That's
other ones.
downtown LA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's downtown LA, and this was happening in Burbank. So this is a different area of that one. And we have to remember that Los Angeles is a massive county.
yeah.
It's the size of
big.
states. It's bigger than some countries.
Oh yeah,
And so
well,
it's
some countries are tiny.
yeah, well, a lot of European countries are tiny, but just the county of Los Angeles is pretty big. And I get that. There's a lot of different areas over there that are being affected, but in those core areas, that's why. It's around the ICE detention center. It's not all of it.
For me, I look at that and it goes, that's a lot of control. It really
Totally.
is. But it's what we've given willingly because we
Well, dude-
download the game, we walked around, but most people didn't think, I wonder who backed this. I wonder who originated and built this company. I wonder who funded that one. I wonder where this data goes to and is collected. Like, how many of us think that for all of the stuff? Like, we willingly open social media all the time, and, well, we give it access to our microphone and our camera and our every photo in our camera roll because, well, we want
And now
to
we
post
know it's
something.
listening to us.
Yeah.
We 100%. I mean, how many times have you just talked about something and then you see it in
And
your
then
social media
yeah,
feed?
constantly.
You're like,
And it's like, oh, our phones are listening. Well, yeah, but the thing that we're not thinking about is who
in your
all
user
collects that
agreements, you
data,
probably already agreed
and
to
what
it.
is that data being shared with? Who, like you
Well,
said,
what does it mean for?
yes, what is it being used for?
Control and consumption.
There was a TV show. Gosh, what was it called?
This feels nice.
It does feel quite pleasant. I like this.
Keep thinking about that.
Yeah.
This
So
other one.
we actually, I think, because we have a coupon code from Dr. Dabber as well, we'll make sure that's in the show notes because honestly, I know we've talked about them for years because Dr. Dabber has been my favorite device, but this thing is,
What do you enjoy about that? Do you like
I
it?
love it. The new airflow control. Obviously, my phone's recording, so I don't have the app right now, but it seems like you can do so much within that you can do full temperature range control and
On
stuff.
the app?
Yeah.
What?
So obviously, I have an iPhone, so I have to use the web interface app because
What was it bad?
Apple's gay. But past that, I'm sure it's still a fantastic design through there. But I like the bass. I like how flat it is. I feel like the hits were fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Those are better than your Dr. Dabber.
Yeah, they still beat it out.
This is the Evo. Has a really cool bass. It's a solid banger in there. It's really solidly built. It's stainless steel. It looks like stainless steel, or it's aluminum. It's got to be. I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you this: the bass is really solid. It's not overly heavy. This one isn't. The Evo is more of an economic one. But the cool part is this: like, see this bass? It's all magnetic, and then I just go.
Yeah,
and
it is
then
really cool.
It has
that the
this
glass
little
attaches.
carb right there for the airflow. So genius.
Have you dabbed out of either of them yet?
No, I haven't. It was
Ooh.
late. But you see, like
yeah.
this is perfect. Where that's awesome. It's got
a
great
fantastic
airflow
handhold.
and like, dude, it's just perfect. Like right there. Like on other ones, I can't adjust it like that, but for here, it goes wherever I want it to.
And honestly, it's $220 for the Dr. Dabber Evo, the Boost
That
Evo.
is cool. It is super cool.
Oh, and right now it actually comes with a custom glass-free upgrade.
Ooh, really?
So, yeah, so that's dope. You can get a different glass attachment for it.
Oh, that would be. I like the glass
that's
attachment
awesome.
on this. I'm so excited to be using this.
Yeah.
This will probably be my go-to. Like I love the bomb from Sky
Cycloud.
Cycloud.
Oh, no, Bomb Cycloud.
Bomb Cycloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
great product.
Yeah.
I love that e-rig.
This
This
one
is cool.
This one's $420 for
That's
the
not
Dr. Dabber
bad.
Switch 2. It said it has like 50 sessions, I think, that it can be used on a charge. Like, yeah, that's a lot.
Well, and you know what? Like your other one is so much older. The battery technology is way better now.
Yeah,
But
it
to
still
have
would last
that
me
much
all day.
battery,
It's insane.
it's still like a meaty piece.
Oh, yeah,
It's heavy.
It is.
But the cool thing I like about it, there's not as much glass as
Yes.
the other one.
Because that was the one thing I did have to replace on mine is I had accidentally knocked over my glass and broke it.
Well,
and I had
this
to
is really
replace
easy
that.
to replace too. Look at that.
Yeah.
You just slide it up,
Yeah.
and clean it out. Dude, that's a super sweet piece.
I'm super excited.
Oh,
They
man.
have
And you got temperature control
such
here.
great designs. Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome.
And the XS, it looks like, is $159 for it. But they also sent us this nifty, it's called the Drop, and it's their hot knife. And that's $40. But these are, we've been so excited for one of these for so long.
Oh, yeah.
This one's a very, like, the live resin. This one is such a cold, like, not a very sticky one, so I don't feel like I have to worry as much. But a lot of my other ones, this will be perfect for.
Yeah.
Any waxy, buttery type of product. It's just
Buttery,
fantastic.
cheesy, chewy.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys have a Dr. Dabber product? If so, what's been your favorite one? What do you use? What are your thoughts on them? Or do you have a different device that you go to for dabbing?
No way. Oh, this is cool.
Oh, but that show that I was talking about, I can't think of what it's called, but it basically has a AI that this guy has designed, and he built it to help protect people, and that AI
Tony
ties
Stark.
into it ties into every camera, every cell phone, everything. It's a whole TV show from mid to maybe late 2000s.
Trippy.
But so then the guy has this like FBI agent or whatever kind of guy who's helping him, and the guy's like a really nerdy kind of guy, and they go around and the AI will call the like payphones or whatever and talk to the FBI agent kind of guy to help him save people or find people that are going to kill a bunch of people, because it'll predetermine, look at everyone's faces in this and go, oh, this person is more likely to, it'll predict crimes.
Minority Report.
Minority Report, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But, no, it's a TV show though.
Oh, yeah, it's
a
kind
whole
of like
different
Minority
one.
Report.
But it will go through and it like scans people's faces and that, and it predicts this person's more likely
Precognition,
to
yeah.
bomb this thing or do this. You need to do this because this is going to, cause this chain of events. And it's very, very interesting. But that concept or the realization of like that in-depth level accessibility to everything is just kind of scary on that level.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like in the fictitious realm, like you remember, I don't know if you remember the movie Winter Soldier, the Captain America movie. I mean, I know I love Captain America.
I think I've seen it once, but.
And so their big thing was to be able to have S.H.I.E.L.D. to have all this control in these helicarriers, and their primary goal was to eliminate all of those who can be seen as defiant and causing issues for the government.
Yeah.
And they were going to go up, and they could, all of these guns, they would go just murking all these people from wherever they were at. All from surveillance and having all their identification over there. And the funny thing is that we look at these movies and we go, oh, yeah, but that's a movie. Dude, that shit's like real life now.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. And that's kind of a scary level of...
Like, as much as AI is cool, the other part is it's fucking scary too, because it's like how fast it's learning. If you looked about anything about their quantum computer that Google is building out, and it was able to perform a mathematical equation that would take like all of the supercomputers on Earth, which is all relative. I mean, who can measure that? But I know they're doing mathematically. But anyways, they said that
it would take them eons of time, basically.
Yeah. And this did it in an hour or minutes.
Well, it's because quantum computing is a whole different level that we can't.
Yeah, it's just it's using light and all sorts of things, like, which is cool, dude. And that kind of goes to that whole thing, like, if the electromagnetosphere is peeled back and we're getting straight light coming from the sun, what will that do?
What data comes in that if also that is like...
Well, it's like fiber optics, but it's done in a different way.
I'm curious, what data is transferred normally through other, like natural light, through those same particles, because or what can be passed through those same light particles in the same way that we use fiber optics or like optic audio cables where it's just glass that's sending light down there.
Or being able to use glass to harbor information. I don't know if you remember, it was a long time ago where these guys had developed a type of glass that they could store petabytes of information into. Sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or if you could trap it in light itself without having to capture it in glass. Like, if here's a question. Does a beam of light continue endlessly? Like, say I turn on a really sharp laser pointer and I point it into space and then I turn it off. Does that beam continue endlessly until, like, it dissipates and it can't be stronger than, or I have no idea. Or does it endlessly continue because it's light and it still is there even though it, like, it's gone so fast so far? I have no idea. Or is it the light beam's ability to reach a certain distance? Kind of like laser pointers can only go so far, and you can buy a stronger one that can point further. Like,
I don't know. I just think it's so crazy. Like, how much can be? I don't know, man. It just. Well, one, this is a good dab.
yeah. Thank you, Dragonfly.
Yeah, this is awesome one. Super Lemon G. It's
and thank you, Dr. Dabber. You guys
oh
are.
my gosh.
The dab gods have come through.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, like this is the Stores and Bickles of dab, like legit.
Yeah.
This is the Stores and Bickle of. I mean, these are the OGs. These are the guys that
Puffco might be older,
Really?
but I don't know. I just have found I've preferred Dr. Dabber over Puffco.
100%.
I haven't had one in years.
I'm actually really excited to try both of these out, the Boost EVO and the XS, to see which one. I think I'm going to be probably leaning towards this one.
We'll have more back later.
Yeah, we'll
be back
definitely
for
review
sure.
a lot of these. But Dr. Dabber Switch 2, it's awesome. Oh, yeah, but going into, like, we already know we live in a surveillance state. It's a surveillance world.
I don't think a lot of us truly think how in depth of a surveillance state it really is. You could push it again though, because it is a surveillance state, but I don't think a lot of us realize how much we've given up in surveillance with these.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think it starts out as clandestine. It just, I can see it from like tactical, because I mean, I've never done a mission, but I'm saying from a tactical advantage, I think it'd be really cool because now you have access to everything. I mean, like the movie Batman, when they're like, oh, that'd be crazy if you could do that. They probably can.
Yep. Oh, triangulating everything. And look, this is what it looks like. And,
and create an image out of it.
But that's what that show would do, is it would be like, oh, we can triangulate everything from these audio from all of these cell phones and that we can pinpoint and make this image. And it was like, holy shit.
But I love that, like in Batman, where Lucius Fox is like, he's like the moral compass, and he's just like, nope, you do this, we're done. I am not going to work with you.
Like, I won't come back until this thing is destroyed, because as long as it's here, I can't be.
Yeah, I can't trust you.
Yeah.
And it's
too much power.
But that's the thing, man. It's like, where's that threshold, and where are the people that are supposed to be on that wall protecting us? You know, we talked, like, the movie comes to my mind is A Few Good Men. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's about, like, this whole problem happens in Guantanamo with the Marine base that was there at this time, and this guy was killed. He was what is that called? Like hazing, and it went too far, and they ended up killing the kid. But the guy, this colonel, is talking about it. He's like, you know, you don't like me, and you don't need to like me, but I'm on that wall. You need me on that wall, because I'm willing to do things that other people are not, to protect those people who live here.
As long as they're actually protecting those who live here, yes, I think so. But to me, it's when that changes and they don't protect those who live here. But
what do you mean by that?
If they overstep those.
What do you mean by that?
I think if it becomes a police state and military comes in and does things that doesn't make it safe for people who live here, I think that it oversteps rights, which, you know, for those who live here, doesn't make them feel safe anymore. But that's, Jesus, stab in the throat.
Do you not have your
shit back there? So that's all. But for me, there's nothing I think someone in the military would do that I wouldn't if I had to.
What do you mean?
Like, where it's like, oh, hey, I'd kill someone to defend my country. Well, how many of us would too if it came down to it, you know? And there are some who definitely wouldn't.
No,
100%.
Oh, I'm sorry, I touched that mic. I agree with you, and I would say from a different point of view is that you don't know unless you've been there, and there is a different mindset. But would
if
be
I
something
for my
as a
family,
no, totally,
I would kill for my family.
Oh, totally. But I'm saying, like, it's a difference on that. Where if what's the difference between a soldier and you? You know,
they work for the military, which is
That's
a
their
government
job.
complex. Yeah.
That's their job, right? I mean, anybody who's like an infantryman or something, like their job isn't like humanitarian aid. No, it's to shoot weapons and move tactically and take over positions.
Yeah.
Like,
Just usually not against American citizens.
okay, so you're going somewhere specific. So
Yes,
go where? Go
That's
where
where I was
specific.
saying.
Yeah.
Was it's when it's against American citizens. So past that, I think military and its defense of protecting American citizens' rights is what it's for. But if they're overstepping and not protecting American citizens' rights and fighting American citizens, that's a different story.
So I want to know where that's coming from.
Nothing?
No. I mean, if you're talking about California,
I'm not. That's
Oh.
what I'm saying. I think you're thinking this is to
that's
that,
why I'm
but
asking for
that's not.
clarity. That's
what
why.
I'm saying. It's not stemming from that. It's just stemming from the overall idea of this much control. And saying that if a military comes in, well, we've got this much eyesight. Well, that's great if it's defending.
Okay, yeah.
But if they're not, well, that puts a lot of fear in the citizens of, well, we've given this much power to this entity
Yeah.
who's coming in.
And
so
no,
it has
totally.
nothing to do with California.
No, and I'm glad. No, I wasn't trying to incite anything. I was like, it was very vague for me, so I wanted to ask more questions.
Because it is a very vague
No, and I get that.
scenario.
I totally get that. Thank you for clarifying that, because that means so much more, and I can really understand your perspective on that. And with that, I will say, like, yes, I totally get that, but the American populace has been bamboozled for decades to allow that power to come in.
Oh, yeah.
And then they bitch about it, but they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You know, when I have people that I know, not us, I mean, we agree and disagree on lots of things. And we now have learned a lot about our perspectives as far as things are concerned, right? I'm not all for one side. I'm not all for another side. I think for myself in real time. And I try to make the best decisions of what I can do for where I'm at and how I can be able to affect maybe those around me in a little way. But the funny thing is where we feel that voting is it's a buzzword. It's a buzzword because it's not real.
I don't think voting is what does it. I think people have to do more than vote.
No, but that's the thing. Like when people start talking about voting, that's all they talk about. But they just want to bitch from the armchair there.
It's
Go
the ones
apply.
who sit and post constantly.
Yeah,
and it's their posts. But at the end of the day, we can be a keyboard
Warriors,
warrior or whatever,
you're an armchair expert,
or we can actually do something. Because
go run for city council. Go do those things. If you're so concerned about your community,
and even
go do
talk
it.
to. Because the problem is, most of the comments that we're typing out on the internet, they're not to our congressmen. They're not to our Senate. They're not our actual complaints to our mayor, to our
And holding them
boards.
accountable.
Yes, none of that. So
No.
that would even be a first step. You don't have to run for it.
No.
But you have to actually talk to them, show up in your communities and go, this is what's wrong. This is what I want. And if more people showed up, they would have to be held accountable because it would be like, oh shit, hey, we don't just have compliant, complacent people. They're actually saying, we're not okay with this.
Yeah. Well,
we don't. We just sit and
we get
becomes
distracted.
I'm going to post and share this, and oh, cool. Well, you shared that.
And then the next second, Blake Lively did this.
And it's like, okay, well, sharing it, what did that really do?
Did nothing.
It showed it so the few people you follow saw it, and then maybe a couple other people saw it. But what change came out of that?
Right.
What what impact came out of that? What leader who can actually dictate or make any impact or say anything on any level can look at it and go, "Thank you for your opinion."
Dude, it's like that thing I talked about where stupid people rule the world. You know, that movie I talked about, Idiocracy. You got to watch it. It's
very intriguing. It sounds like so.
Well,
like,
definitely be very elevated on a happy strain because you'll laugh. But then after you're done with it, think about it in a philosophical sense, and it has come to fruition. It has come to fruition. And it's not just government, it's the people. Because I think that's where people have forgotten, is that you control what you do. But you give up so much because you want comfort. You want accessibility.
Yeah.
You want luxury. Where we have been able to be fooled as a society that everybody wants to be in luxury. But that's excess. And when excess happens, that means less get more. And the people on the top get all of it. and they distribute. They don't trickle down.
No, it's not trickle-down economics.
As much as a lot of people want to believe that guys like Elon are something, if
they did, there wouldn't be billionaires. Because it would
there would be no
trickle-down.
such thing.
Yeah. But there are. And it's just greed and selflessness and that.
Well, and that's why I don't agree with taxation the way it is now, because it's like, yeah, you're giving them a lot of loopholes to get out of, but they would need to be, those loopholes are guaranteed jobs, growth in wages, contributing to local education, municipalities, like those billions and trillions of dollars could be going to effectively not rely upon the government, but rely upon the communities and the businesses that support it. The government isn't supposed to get to this level. That's why I see go from one swing to the next. It's straight up, dude. Our world is a pendulum that's constantly moving. Yeah. Like 1 second, everybody's like, I fucking hate this guy. And the next time, well, he's pretty cool and he smells like sandalwood. And then the next time it comes over here, if I ever see that motherfucker, I'll kill him, right? It's just like, hey, let's meet in the middle. Let's have some civil discourse. Let's talk about Pokemon GO and why everybody should get it off your fucking phone.
It's made me very curious. Like, that has just made me think about what other apps have all my accessibility and data and what ones share that. I recently upgraded my phone, which I have a love-hate relationship. I love it because it's a better camera, it's bigger storage.
Yeah, you're a big camera guy.
But I hate it because I no longer have a show phone, which had TikTok and Instagram and that on that one. Now I have to have all of it on my personal one, which I don't like.
Yeah, the new tech comes with a lot of guardrails. And that's where Apple, like a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with Apple. It's a walled garden. And you have to remember that the walled garden isn't just to protect you. It's also to control you. So you can't, again, that's where we've traded a lot of things. We've traded things for luxury and comfort and for the idea of what we want. Yeah. If we look back into the past and all the psyops that have been done on the American people to use for control by government agencies, not always the top, is we've been seeing a lot. And it's kind of weird, dude. This is the thing that I've noticed. Like, I pay attention to news just because I want to know what's going on. But everybody stopped talking about the CIA. Why?
I don't know.
They were one of the most crooked organizations out there. Are.
I was like,
sorry.
I cannot imagine that it changed.
But I said it in the past tense because all of a sudden it just dropped off a cliff. We're hearing everything about the FBI.
Well, it's because it's always something else comes up. And we're in the era of 15 minutes or a 3-day cycle or whatever it is where something's in the news and then, well, it's gone because, well, now, like you said, Blake Lively this, or Taylor Swift is dating this guy, or like this new movie came out, or like this stupid thing. And so you're like, what the fuck? Dude, nothing important stays there because our brains are so like TikTok ADHD that what's the next shiny object in front of us?
Dude, if we could get like old Onion articles and old Onion videos, like where the the study on monkeys and stab wounds goes
stab wounds.
Yeah, that showed like abuse. He goes, yeah, we would get those little puffy monkeys with white tufts of hair around their face, and we repeatedly punch them in the face with fists, with objects, and then we used knives. And then that's where we knew that was the end. We knew that blades kill monkeys, which will kill people. It was just
fuck.
But it's a funny thing. It's all satire. But the reason why it's because it's just like most of the news now. It's like, check out this bleeding monkey.
Bullshit.
Like, and just dumb shit. Like, what? Mm-hmm. I mean, we see it all the time. One person flip-flops on weed. Every month, oh, I hate it. And the other one's like, well, actually, it's pretty good. And then that same person will say later on, oh, it's bad for you.
Yep.
Like, fuck, dude. It's just like, who's paying you to say that? That's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, that's what I hate with it, too, is like you said, it's always whose dollar has made you say this at this moment. Because and that was what I was disappointed with here, was the only legislature in Utah that I felt like actually spoke to cannabis in a real sense, had gone to Nevada because they were legal, tried a gummy,
Yeah.
made a video and resigned from his position and wasn't going to move in the next campaign. And I was like, this is stupid because you're the only person here who can truly speak to this, because everyone else is afraid of it, treating it like it's this terrible drug because they are still stuck in the Reagan era mindset.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's the boomers before my generation that still have that in their mind.
Oh yeah, my dad is very much, even though he's used it for occasionally for the needs that he has and it's helped his mom, he still somehow sees it as like, oh, it's bad.
He
marijuana brain, it makes you stupid.
I'm about to say this, but it just reminded me of like that show Mad Men where Don Draper was like, he's always having an affair on his wife.
Yeah.
And then he'd always treat his side chick like dirt. She'd be like, look, I love you. He's like, bitch, get away from me. It's just like, no, you were there to me to do all those fun things, and now I want to love you. He's like, bitch, get away.
Yep,
It's the same thing. Your dad's all, oh, I love you, cannabis. Oh, fuck you, bitch. Get away.
Oh, you're ugly.
Yeah. Don't come around until I really need you. He just use you. But, I mean, it really is that way. I mean, and I'm so glad that, going through this, it's a lot more people are being more awake to this, because with more, and that's the scary part too. It's like what is real now, where people get fooled by videos, like really freaky videos. Like I've seen some of these ones like where they did this breakdown, and these looked really good, like good quality videos, where this girl's like, Grandpa, don't send any, she's like tied up. Grandpa, don't send any money. I am AI. And it's like, when you see that, it just reminds me of that movie Vanilla Sky, where the saying was, you can't experience the sweet without tasting the sour. And so everything comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, it's the bitter with the sweet. It's like there's the good side to cannabis. There's the bad side to it. The drug wars, the cartels that come through it, the really shitty stuff laced on your weed.
Malicious.
There's all that side. And then there's the good side of it of like, hey, you don't even have to have it and someone will share it with you. Like a random stranger will.
Dude,
like,
did I send you that video? This is what love looks like. And the guy's like, yeah, man. He's like, once you roll up a couple papers, and he's like, man, I ain't got no flour on me. He's like, oh, for real? He's like, well, dude, let's roll 2 joints and then roll 2 more for you to take with you.
yeah.
Like, that's cool, because you see that in cannabis communities. Like, people will take care of each other. Like, I've had people reach out to me going, hey, what's it like getting a card and da-da-da. And I'm like, do you need something? They're like, well, I mean, do you have any gummies or something like that? And I'm like, yeah, but come over and I'll explain to you how to take it. And he's like, yeah. And they're like, how much do I owe you? Like, for a gummy, they're like going to give me a 50.
Yeah,
and I'm
right?
like, whoa, dude, no, just take it.
Oh, yeah.
And let me know if it works for you, and then I'll guide you towards some other products. Like, it doesn't, we don't have to have this quid pro quo movement.
No.
And that's where I find that a lot of people right now, like, that's why they get so fooled into following one side or another, instead of just standing your ground, instead of rushing to one side or the other and just saying, hold on, I need to see everything. And then going, how can we civilly talk amongst ourselves? We're not. The funny thing is, it's almost like the pawns for each side are fighting this proxy war.
Because most of the time, if you actually truly, granted, there are differences. There are
Totally.
some people who you cannot see eye to eye with because they are just so close-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard to have those discussions. It really is. But there are so many of us that even, like, having discussions with my dad where he argued that we were not so, like, nothing was the same. We didn't see eye to eye. And I was like, Dad, and I listed off everything that was important to him. And I was like, all of these things that you think are so important to you, all of those are things that are important to me too.
Right.
Like, it's all these differences that we think we have, but at the end of the day, there's just way more similarities most of the time. And it's like those little differences really aren't as drastic as we're thinking.
No. And that's where you've got to find time to slow down. And that's where I find that a lot of us within the cannabis community need to be open to being able to have those conversations, not that you have an agenda, but more of like, I want to gain a perspective of where you're coming from, not just a perception.
Yeah.
Because the perception is not the perspective.
There was something that Emily sends me videos all the time on TikTok or Instagram about all sorts of stuff, how to communicate better as couples, how to build, like, everything. And one of the videos she sent was actually, I thought it was really insightful because it's not just couples, it's every interaction. Was a lot of the time they will, when they feel like they need to react, they'll ask the other person, like, what did you say? And they'll go, well, what did you hear? Because a lot of the time we hear something that's not maybe necessarily what the person intended or what they said, whether it's tonality and like all of these things that could play into that. And maybe what we heard wasn't what they said.
Nope.
And so just asking them, going, well, you know, hey, what did you hear?
Yeah, and it's you know, it's something like, even though I practice a lot of these things, like what I call cognitive tone dynamics, is understanding tone and intent behind that. And then it's for me to be able to understand where they're coming from. And even though, like, it is just like communicating with anybody else, it is a muscle. It is trained. You got to train it. Yeah. And there are times, like, I was having an argument with my wife, and we were going to the gym, and we were just, she was saying some pretty heated things. I started to say, and I stopped. And I said,
good for you.
We're not going to talk anymore. Let's just go to the gym. And I didn't say a fucking word.
Yeah.
And she probably thought I was super mad at her, which she did. She confirmed that later. She's like, I thought you were so bad. I'm like, no. The reason why I had to stop was that I am feeling all this emotion. And that's where a lot of people don't have that self-regulating thing, because it's
hard. And we don't know how to every
do it
time.
Yeah.
No, but it's a practice, and maybe one time you do catch it, and maybe the next time you don't. And that's okay too, but it's like patting yourself on the back going, hey, I fucking caught that. I didn't lash out and say, well, this, because I was just feeling emotional. Dude. And at the end of the day, those things to the person I love isn't really what I want to say. I just felt hurt. And so this childish need in all of us that we're like, well, I'm hurt, so now I'm going to hurt you. It's like, do we really want to do that to the people we love?
No.
Like, if we sat back, most of the time we would go, fuck, I wouldn't be doing this.
Well,
like,
but think about it this way, man. I mean, like, there are a lot of, we deal with a lot of complex technology in our day-to-day lives. Mm-hmm. A lot of us do. And it's never been really, I mean, until now, it's never been a push button, get it done type of thing, like with AI. But we will put so much time and attention to learning how to make more money, be a better athlete, be a better expert in whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yet we put very little into understanding how others communicate, how we understand our own emotions, and how to be able to call yourself out or stop
recognizing
things.
them.
Right. And then it's so funny because there are a lot of different tools. Like 12 Shapes is really great for relationships. The relationship with yourself and relationship with others. I think it's a great tool for that.
Yeah.
Do I think it's the end all be all? No, I think there's a ton of tools.
It's just a tool.
It's like I have like a tool set of things I want to. Well, if you'd be open to it, but it's just about communication.
I know you got a lot of stuff in your tool belt.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of it, but like it really is like what you were talking about. It's exactly that. What did you hear? I actually had said that to my wife while we were arguing. I'm like, wait a minute. And this actually relates a lot to what's going on now, is that we respond to things that don't have a tone. We respond to words on a page.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was like, and the best way, I mean, I have no idea if it's true or not, but the funniest thing I saw is that you saw Elon and Trump had a little falling out, mm-hmm. and then they kissed and made up.
Oh, probably. I bet there's a million memes about their breakup.
No, it wasn't even about that. It was it set up? Was it a psyop?
Oh.
Were they just fucking with everybody? Were they trying to get the Democrats to really do crazy shit? Going, oh yeah, because
that's a theory. Yeah.
Dude, yesterday, I just saw a Tesla truck pulling out.
Okay.
Spray painted all over.
Like graffiti?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Graffiti.
That sucks. That's fucked up.
Right on the side.
That's super fucked up.
At least they were nice. They did it on both sides. Same tag.
Okay.
Right. Kind of looks, yeah. But
See, I wonder. So
that's nuts.
I have a cousin out in Missouri, and he's got a Cybertruck, and he said even before 2025, all of this, as soon as he got it, just because it's
People
the
honk
Midwest,
at him.
people flip him off, people yell at him, people cuss at him, just because he has a Cybertruck. And he's like, I went from my Ford F-150 to this, and everyone just isn't instantly like an asshole.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
And I can only imagine that it's way worse now.
Oh, it's well, in different areas though. It like flip flopped, and then if I was him, I'd be like, "Hey, look, Mr. President, I need to step away. I don't think this is good for me." Right? I mean, he goes right in. I mean, just like they're burning my dealerships. Okay, I'm not cool with that. They're hurting my customers, and it's really fucked up. That people
hurting customers would be super fucked up.
Dude, it's
I still think it's it's their own way to retaliate. I think it's childish and to burn someone else's business, because it's not just like him that gets hurt. It's all of these other people tied with it, and that's just their livelihood. Like, it's just someone working at the company right now, and that doesn't mean that they're fascist or that they're, whatever, that they work at that company. It's just...
But that's what happens, right? So many companies get destroyed, like, just because somebody wants to voice their opinion. Which, if you own a company and you have opinions, keep them to yourself. Because
I don't think I would be so public with my political statements if it was...
Look in media. Yeah. Pedro Pascal is in every fucking movie coming out right now for the last 3 years. He's in everything. And people are done. And then he started going into his politics. Fantastic Four is circling the drain and it hasn't even come out.
I was like, I didn't know.
He's a part of that. And he's a part of all these other movies that are coming out. And people are done with him. They're digging into his past.
Who is he as an act? I don't know.
He's been in Game of Thrones. He was in The Last of Us.
Who was he in the Game of Thrones? Oh, is he the main guy in The Last of Us?
Yeah.
He
was in Narcos, the first and second season.
Okay.
He's the Mandalorian.
I'm not seeing that.
That's I don't. I'm not into it, but it's a huge in the Star Wars universe. Like, it was like everybody was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" It's like true to form old Star Wars. Like, this is what we want. And then they went real woke, and everybody's like, "Wow." They just don't do well. And even Bob Iger, he's out at the end of the year. He is gone. He is the CEO of Disney.
Okay.
He is gone. And Kathleen Kennedy, who's been running Star Wars, she's going to be gone soon because they have lost so much money, hundreds of millions of dollars in flop after flop after flop. And it's not because it's going to one side or the other. They just forgot what their purpose is, and that's to entertain.
Everything that I've seen, everything that looks like it's coming out is a remake. Hey, this is live action. Hey, this is...
And the games, too. It's a remaster.
Yeah, where is anything new? Why is there no creativity? Why is nothing
There's plenty of creativity.
Yeah, but nothing
they don't get
from the
funded.
mainland? No, it's all these little tiny indie, like, backwoods kind of stuff, and you're like...
Totally.
Holy shit, why have I not heard of this?
But they don't get the same funding.
Yeah. And they don't have the same recognition and visibility, and you're like,
well, those studios have to bend the knee to whatever the backers are into. And a lot of these private equity and VC companies, these are the ones that build the games. It's not us purchasing the games. It's these big companies that are money backing all of it. I wouldn't be surprised if BlackRock was deep in the video game world because of how big they are.
Yeah.
I mean, people go, "Oh, they're horrible." No, they're opportunistic, and they grew fast.
Yeah.
They saw the trend and they took it. They got a hit, dude. They bought all those homes during the pandemic, and now they're trying to get rid of them. They can't sell them. There's whole ghost towns because these homes are they lost their value, and they're like, "Fine, fire sell." Still can't sell them. So it's like they're not always going to win, but when we just keep accepting that this is what's coming out, like Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year.
Yeah.
They're talking about it's going to be $100.
Yep.
And it's going to happen.
Oh, but everyone's going to buy it? I mean, I won't. But
I won't. That's not my jam.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, dude. Like, every game out there is just a way to be able to just spend copious amounts of time doing repetitive actions. Like, I like my online shooters, but I've been pulling away from it because I'm just so bored of It's just the same thing. Like there's no entertainment. Like online shooters are cool, but it's any multiplayer online. Oh, but I'm playing with other people. Well, why don't you play with yourself? Because it's an exploring imagination.
Yeah.
And I miss those fun games. Like I'm replaying The Witcher 3 on my Switch.
Oh, that's cool.
And I love it.
That's a good story.
Right, but the thing is, it's like we as the people allow these things to deteriorate. We allow these things to be taken over.
Well, and we keep buying shit, so they keep making it.
Dude, the best way to be able to control the government is to control your wallet.
Yep. Stop your spending where you don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop putting it to companies and things that you don't want it to go to.
Think the companies are too expensive for their product? Don't buy it.
Honestly, that's why. Like,
it's not a boycott. It's just like, no, I'm not doing that.
No. Well, it's even most of the time, if there's stuff I can get on Amazon or if I could get it at Trader Joe's, I'll go to Trader Joe's because I'd rather give my money to Trader Joe's than to Amazon.
Well, and it's, if you can look for, I do that all the time now. I'm like, I try not to go to Amazon just because I'm like, what good is that going to do? Like, I get to see Dr. Evil and his dick spaceship.
Yeah, probably.
Right? I mean,
that made me laugh.
Well, dude,
I watched it.
If you see excess, like the funny thing is, like, did you see that they send all these women up into? They didn't go to space.
Katy Perry, no, yeah.
They just went almost to space.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Right? I'm sure it was an amazing experience.
Totally, but it killed her career literally overnight.
Who?
Because
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry's. Oh. She was working in Vegas, like a Celine Dion thing, which is kind of like a sign of you're being set out to pasture.
See, Emily just told me things that, like, Emily's never liked her, apparently, because she gives very rapey vibes. Like, she forced guys to kiss her. I'm like, oh.
She's very...
Yeah, if that was, like, I didn't know that. And I wouldn't give her my entertainment like I would. It's like with the whole Drake shit. And that, and I was like, or did he? I'm like, yeah, I won't listen to their music. I won't give them the royalty.
I don't need to give them anything.
It's fine. I don't need my money, my time, my energy to go towards people I don't respect or value.
Well, I mean, and it even goes for like Spotify. If you're not wanting to support somebody over there because they have made their views very apparent, like, you know what? If you are this like really big celebrity and you've got some kink that would probably mess with people like Diddy did, hey, find yourself a small group of friends that's cool about that whole thing and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, and only keep
and don't invite people to be a part of it.
Nope.
Like, just go, good. I mean, do that.
And pull in more and more and more and more.
It's sad, dude. It's sad.
It's horrendous. The crazy thing is, too, that whole mess, there's like all this AI shit. There's so many fake videos that came out. Emily saw one that supposedly Jennifer Lawrence was one of the victims, but then if you go dig into it, it was like, well, there's no proof of that. That was just this deep fake shit that was made, and it's this whole thing about it.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the RFK one where he says he is placing a war on gay fat kids because I don't understand why they're so gay and so fat. It was just like, but it sounds like him. It looks like him.
But that's something you could honestly imagine him saying. Like, it's not like that's too far-fetched where you're like,
I mean, no, like when you listen to it, you can tell like midway, because at first I was like, did he really just say that? And then you start listening to it and you're going, no, he doesn't. No, that's not his tempo. And because
that's way too fast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was way too fast. But I mean, it was funny, but at the same time, it's like how much of that gets put out there and how much will go out there.
Tons.
And so that the only way to be able to start,
because when Emily sent me that, I looked up, like after I watched that, I looked it up and I was like, is there any truth in this? Like where? And all I could find was just from uncredible sources. Everything else was like, yeah, there's a lot of fake videos out about this. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, that's unfortunate because there is a lot of misleading data out there all over on all sorts of stuff.
Well, you're going to see it in every industry too, where AI is going to be completely be able to get rid of people, but it's still going to feel like it's real. And where I think is going to go, where and AI is already going in that way.
Am I real? It's not that kind of strain.
No, I smelled your breath earlier. You're pretty real. Just kidding. But like, I mean, this comes up because it's such a massive industry that I think will go away, and that's porn, because it will be artificially created, because
we'll
it's
have
just
to,
a voyeur.
Yep.
No one, and they can do anything, and they could take
Interesting.
any celebrity. I mean, if you see these celebrity fakes, all of a sudden now you can pay a company to create you custom porn.
Or even that, it becomes such an app that you just pay for the app and you can design your own within it.
Totally.
Hey, I want
Like that
this
Kim
style,
Kardashian app, you
this-
dress up your porn star.
I want it to do this. I want it to talk like this. I want it to,
I wouldn't doubt if those who own OnlyFans and any of their counterparts of people that are trying to do the same thing are putting all of their money, because they're making billions of dollars. I bet they're putting all their money into developing high value technology, and I wouldn't be surprised if they sold that to other people to be able to utilize and do some deep fakes. Because you think about it, like, what's an industry like, because there's probably some of us on there that do OnlyFans. That's fine, that's great, but I'm saying, like, that is something that can be easily replaced.
Yeah.
And then where did the money go?
That.
Now I don't have to pay a content creator.
Yeah.
I make my own, and I can design her to look like anything. I can pull a person out of history and then slightly augment them.
Yeah.
And then they could be the biggest star on social media.
Yeah. And all fake.
All fake.
Yep. Every photo, every
and then
video,
the time you see him for real, it's an android.
Oh, that would be weird too.
That would be so crazy, dude.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine that?
Yes, I can. That's weird as fuck.
Because the autonomous robots are on the, they're coming. Like, we're getting those, like, shitty robots from the
Tesla.
Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. The ants. Yeah. We're going to get those at first. But, dude, I mean...
I've got Parkinson's trying to make it downhill.
Or think about Blade Runner, if you've ever seen that movie. Old Harrison Ford movie. Like, that one's creepy, where the AI was only allowed to live for so many years.
Oh.
And then one of them goes, no. And he tries to get the creator of him to change it. And he says, I can't. So he kills the creator.
Oh, shit.
And this whole thing is like, you're wondering if this one character is actually an android
or a person.
Oh. And so it's like, what the fuck? It's crazy. But it's so, like, that was science fiction then.
Yeah.
It will be
weird
be
reality.
fact.
Yep. It's going to be a weird reality here.
Somebody tried to tell me, like, oh, AR and VR will be the future. I don't think so. It will be in a different way. It won't be with helmets. It will be with lenses.
Well, yeah, because you've seen Ray-Ban Meta already. They have commercials for it. And they had it with the guy from Thor and the guy from, Park. I can't think of either.
Oh, Chris Pine. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, and then the guy who plays Thor.
Yeah.
And both of them
Chris
were wearing
Hemsworth.
it. And they were just looking at this dinosaur, and they were talking about it, and they're like, oh, Meta, what type of dinosaur is this? And it's like, oh, it's this. But that type of AR where AI just integrates into everything. Hey, I'm looking at this, or if I'm in this area, find me something near here. Oh, cool, I see you're here, down this block on this way is here. Like that type of AR and stuff or VR, where it's a integrated lens of just...
Like Apple's attempt, right, for VR, AR, where you can actually, like, see your environment, but also be online and then have calls and then pull up tabs. And I've seen people use it, and it looks like a fucking hot mess. But as a VR interaction with, like, calls and FaceTime, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just a start. I don't think that Facebook is anywhere done playing with VR. I think that, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, that's all he talks about.
Well, there you go.
He knows it's the future. The social media will be different. We'll be connected
100%,
all the time. 100% directly to our heads. Those glasses will be that. They'll have interfaces where you can do everything right there.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, you can move your hands around. Why? When voice can do it for me.
Yeah. Why would I need to move my hands? You just literally go, hey, do this, say this, send this message.
Dude,
cool.
It's Star
Check
Trek
this for me. Yeah.
Like, go back to
Tony
Star Trek. The generation.
It's the guy in his headset. He's like, Jarvis, do this. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool, thank you. Compute this. Oh, run this diagnostic for me.
Turn my pee into water.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he didn't do that. But
it goes into wine. But
it's wine.
You know.
Is that a Merlot? How did you make it dark?
With asparagus hints?
That's not very nice, is it?
Thanks for tuning in for random weird-ass Sesh.
Yeah.
And check out Dr. Dabber if you guys haven't yet.
Yeah, get that code so you guys can save on that. Awesome stuff. Check it out. We'll be reviewing more of these things as we go along, but
yeah, love you guys.
Yeah, take care.